Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. It's been a hot minute since last I was here. A lot has gone around in my life. There's a lot of movement has taken place, and I'm really happy for everything and where I stand right now in my life. I stand in a good place, not only physically or mentally, emotionally, but most importantly, spiritually with God Himself. Literally, you can't go wrong when God is leading and guiding you, and you literally are doing everything, and every moves you make in life are being Spirit led by the Holy Spirit. Now, I come because I was listening to this prophet speaking, and the words he stated, I could relate to, because for the past couple of days, God has been speaking to me in a manner that it falls in accord with other things I've been hearing. So it was just like a confirmation, and it was like, a lot of people in my life looked down on me because of the situations I was in, because the lifestyle I was living, because of the afflictions I was going through. Literally, people label me for my afflictions. I was labeled by people for the afflictions I was going through, without many people knowing, including myself, that many times these afflictions are blessings in disguise. And many of us would say, how can you call an affliction a blessing in disguise? Well, Romans 8:28 states clearly, all things do work together for good for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. And at the same time, while we go through afflictions and trials and tribulation, it builds up our character, it builds up our knowledge. It, most importantly, it brings us to a point in our life. I don't care how strong you feel you are, how smart you think you are, how wise you think you are. There is a point in your life when you're walking through life by yourself, facing all these demons, facing all these people that literally portray to be your friends. They laugh with you, and behind your back, they're stabbing you. They're talking about you. They're betraying you. They're literally hooking up with your significant other, and you don't see it because you're so blind, and you truly believe that these people care for you and love you when they in reality despise you. Well, when you start going through all these things and you start hurting and you start feeling those things of pain and of betrayal from those close to you, you eventually, if you're smart and you see you can't overpower them, and you see you can't win over them because they group up on you, and you see you can't even win over an addiction because it has taken a hold of your life to a point that you have literally submitted to becoming its slave. In your daily routine, you become a slave to addiction, and it's horrible because that becomes your master. That little bag of cocaine, that little bag of dope, that little rock of crack, crystal meth, that little blunt, it becomes your master, and you become slave to it. And you can't operate, you can't think clearly, you can't do anything without it. And then in some cases, these drugs are so strong and so full of chemical nowadays that even once you get it, you still can't do nothing, because it locks your body. You can't move. You cannot function normally. It clutters your thoughts. Sometimes gets you a little paranoid. Other times gets you sleepy. Other time gets you goofy. It gets you all kinds of way depressed. Sometimes it gets you really depressed. But you go through all these type of stages and feelings depending on the person and on the drug of their choice. But at the end, 9 times out of 10, you do not accomplish anything that you wanted to accomplish that day for yourself. So if you had to probably clean your house and you're smoking crack, guess what? You got stuck all day in the bathroom. You didn't do anything. If you have to do laundry and go shopping and get your food ready for the week and everything, and you're snorting cocaine, after a while that cocaine doesn't hit that well, and you really can't go out there and deal with people properly or get your numbers right. So the point is that we many times become slaves to such things that we shouldn't even have. It shouldn't have never gotten there. But again, there is hope. And the good hope is it comes from God. And like I said, and when you see yourself in a situation that you have nowhere to go, no one to save you, not your mama, not your daddy, not your kids, definitely not your lover, not your friends. The only person, if you carry any kind of wisdom and something inside of you that you will run to, because you know he will never say no to you, and he will literally fix your problems from you. If you come with a pure heart, it's God. God will release you from those chains of addictions. God will release you from that tribulation. God will release you from that affliction. And God will literally work on you, start fixing you from the in out, because it doesn't matter if you're looking all pretty in the outside and you're dressing all good and you're smelling all good when you're broken and ruined and tarnished in the inside. What good is it? What good are you for anyone? It's like a car that looks beautiful in the outside, but once you start driving it up the road, it starts heating up. The transmission starts spinning and your motor blows up. It didn't do no good to you, for them, for nobody in the car. So, and that's how life is. And God himself, like he's the manufacturer of all of us. He created us. He knows exactly what each and every single one of us needs to get fixed, to get the right things inside of us. Because God starts then putting the right instruments, the right equipment, and he starts fixing you from the in to the out. And after a while, he starts doing such a great job, because he is God Almighty, that you can see it in the outside. You don't have to even wear makeup. You don't even have to go through all that extra stuff people are going through out here to look pretty superficially, because literally the glory of God is so beautiful that you will start seeing it on somebody's face, on somebody's words, on somebody's tenderness, on somebody's smile, on somebody's light. Because the light is radiant and you can't hide from it. No, everybody's gonna see that light. And even the ones that don't want to believe, they're gonna say, but she is glowing. He is glowing. They got a light. And that is not a normal light. But at the end, a lot of people also judge me because of where I was at in my life, or because of all the circumstances and the experiences that I had to go through, because the afflictions that were given to me. And literally, I was labeled according to those afflictions. I was labeled as Jessica, the crazy one. I've always been a little cuckoo for Cuckoo Pops. I still am. I will not follow the regular routine of the people. I like being different. I like being happy. I like being spontaneous. I like being me. I'm comfortable being me. I like having wild haircuts. I like dressing differently than from the rest. I like who God made me to be. I don't want to be like her, like him, like them. I want to be like me, unique. I'm my own design. I am God's masterpiece. I am exclusive. There's nobody like me. I don't care how much you try. A lot of people try to imitate what they don't like, which I don't understand. Why would you imitate somebody you don't like? But to each his own. But again, through this, I've learned to accept me. And I've never really had a problem with me. But I did have a problem with the choices I have made in my life. I did have a problem with letting myself sometimes be misguided by thinking everybody who laughed with me and everybody who used to hug me or kiss me on the cheek or say they loved me was my friend. when in reality, they were never my friends, and they never cared for me, and they never really genuinely loved me, while I loved every single one of them genuinely. And I showed every single one of them unconditional love. And I would have gone to beyond the extreme to help them, because what was mine wasn't just for me. It was for me to help my friends, my significant other, the families, her family, whoever it was. But I was not treated with the same regards. I was literally very rejected, very talked about, and mocked and laughed at behind my back. But at the end, God has a way of vindicating you. And sometimes, most of the time, this is the reason why God doesn't want us to go out, seek for vengeance ourselves. Because whatever they said about you, whatever they talk about you, whatever they think about you, eventually, time will talk by itself. Don't go out there making a scene. Don't try to defend yourself. Don't try to say nothing. Don't say nothing. Just walk away from it and let time prove the truth. Because those same people that sit around and listen to other people gossip and talk about you and demoralize you and talk about your character and talk about your afflictions are the same people right now. Those other people that sat there, laugh with them and listen to them are looking at them like, are you serious? This is the person you was talking about? This is the person you said that was evil? This is the person that you said was a prostitute? This is the person that you said was a drug addict? Well, whatever they were, they're not. Because that's the good thing in life. You do not have to keep the label that people place upon you. You are entitled to change from one next moment to the next, from 1 second to the next. You don't have to remain the same because they want to remain the same. Funny thing is, all these people that most of the time talk about you and talk about you will never be nothing in life. Go now. Look back. Take a glance at the past and guess where they stay at, wherever you left them at. Still in the same place, talking about the same talks, fighting about the same arguments they had 2, 3, 4 years ago with the same person, stuck on bad habits, in miserable relationships, because these people are so attached and so codependent in having somebody next to them, even if they don't love them, just to have someone there to torture and to get tortured by, because this goes both ways. Not only they torture the person, but that person also tortures them. So you got all these people most of the time talking and talking and talking, and they're just literally taking air and taking space, but they aren't doing anything with their life. Now, while on the other hand, you that was going through the affliction, you that was going through the problems of drug addiction, you that was going through the problem of not knowing your sexual preference, you that was going through the problem of, do I believe in God or not? Because everybody goes through these tests and through these things. Guess what? You decided to give it a shot. And you decided to truly walk by faith and not by sight. And once you reach that point in life that you walk by faith and not by sight, anything is possible. Because what wasn't possible for you is so possible for God. And this is the part a lot of people need to understand. What is impossible for you is not impossible for God. So do not let people or the afflictions that you have gone through life stay with you as a label, because they're not. At the contrary, like I said, those afflictions, those tribulations, those obstacles, those testing periods were necessary to make out of you the gold mine, that gold stone, that beautiful diamond that God chose you to be. And not only now do you carry the empathy, the compassion, you can relate with people in those struggles, but you also carry now the heart of God, the heart of Christ. Now, since you carry it, you're willing to help others come out of that pit, that the devil and other peoples did for them. Because majority of the time, the devil, yes, he's behind a lot of things, but a lot of people literally, they submit to the devil's way. They rejoice in being evil. They like doing harm. They love hurting people. They like envying people's life. They love taking and stealing things from people. Hey, sometimes the devil don't even have to work hard on you. You're just naturally born evil. And you just like it, and you're down with the cause for the kingdom of darkness. So once you start getting spiritual discernment, you will be able to discern these type of people better and see them clearly for who they are and the fruits they carry. But again, if you are one of those blessed ones that God is waking up, that feel that little urge in your heart that it's a calling and God is calling you, don't look at them. Don't think about, what they're gonna think about me, what they're gonna say about me. At the end, remember clearly, every single one of us will go before our Creator. Every single one of us will stand before Jesus Christ, which is our defender. And if you don't have a personal, intimate relationship with Christ, that He don't know you, get ready. Because the words that will come out next from His mouth are not those kind, loving words. Come here, my good servant. You did a good job. It won't be those. It will be, depart from me, wicked evildoer. I have never met you. So don't believe for a second that this is something that is easy, because it's not. You literally have to make a choice, and you got to choose what's right. And if literally something in your spirit is telling you lately, because I know it's a mass worldwide awakening going on, and a lot of people are feeling the need to just hunger. They hunger for God. They want knowledge. They want wisdom, but this is part of His plan. But only those who He called from the beginning, before they were in their mother wombs, are going to start hearing and feeling this urge and hunger to run to God. And they will, because it was already written and destined for them. Now, if you are one of those people that are not hearing, or not getting an urge, or not feeling thirsty enough or hungry enough to know who is God, or that you think you don't need God in your life, I really, really, right now, I plead with you, and I ask you to literally pray. Take a minute, and just say, God, don't forget me. Whatever it is that my family did, my ancestor did, whatever curses in my bloodline, please remove it with me. Let me be the curse breaker of my family and my generations, and let me get an equal chance to be with you, Father, and get to know you. Because as a lot of people waking up, I'm not feeling it. And there's something wrong if you're not feeling it. And you don't want to be left out of the book of life. So think on that and sit on that. And like I said, don't get misguided. Sometimes, and most of the time, in my case, affliction was what brought out of me the woman that I feel and that I am present today. And I only could thank God. At the moment, I was mad. I didn't understand. I did not understand nothing. And now that I sit here 10 years later, and I analyze all that I went through, not only 10 years ago, but through the whole process. But at the end, it got heavy. I mean, my testing got real, got bouted. Like, I don't know what He wanted to make out of me, but He made out of me a beast of a woman. And not only in the spiritual sense, but in the physical sense, I was able to withhold and withstand things that many people don't come out of, especially with their mind altogether. Because literally the things that came to me was for me to lose completely my mind. The enemy wanted me dead, institutionalized, or in a lunatic house. He didn't want nothing else from me. Anyways, God bless you. And remember, affliction is another way of a blessing if you learn from it and you do not pity yourself and start feeling sorry for yourself and start crying, why me, why me? But instead say, obviously, I carry something strong. When God is allowing all these tests and tribulations to come towards me, it's because he knows I'm going to pass it. He knows I carry the strength. He knows I got the heart of a lion, and I'm going to beat this. So anyways, have a beautiful day. God bless you all. And, stay positive, stay on the prayer. And remember, some people are starting to get their blessings from God and moving up in life and moving up into better homes and better things, and their finances are coming up. Don't forget who brought you there. Don't forget who did it for you, okay? Don't forget, because sometimes we forget. Let's keep our ego on check. Let's keep the pride to the minimum, because like Solomon said, everything is pride and vanity. And let's stay humble, especially before God, because God honors a humble heart. But somebody who's heisty, you really don't like them. God bless you and have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao.